Hi guys, this is Ronnie from Notary Stars, and I'm here with Miss Beth Hathoot, one of our most loved instructors. Today we are bringing you another burning question, and that burning question is my errors and omissions insurance covering me as a loan signing agent? And we want you to know a couple of things. So, Miss Beth, we've had a lot of questions come in lately. There's a lot of buzz going around about, is my errors and omissions insurance covering me as a loan signing agent? And the answer to that is no. Your errors and omissions insurance is covering you as a notary. So it's only going to cover you on your notary documents. This is ever more the reason for you to seek really great training for your work as a loan signing agent. You can invest in general liability insurance, which is something that I also have for myself. But I do want you to know, for decades, notaries have only had their bond and their errors and omissions insurance, and that's all that's required of them to work as a loan signing agent with most title companies and agencies. But the buzz is actually coming from a lot of insurance agents that are trying to keen in on the notary market. Now, I'm not telling you to not protect yourself. If you feel that you should protect yourself, you should definitely seek the coverage that makes you feel good. And this is not something that Notary Stars or an NNA representative, unless they're talking about their insurance and they're a licensed insurance rep, you should only speak about the coverage that you have for your business and your notary work with a licensed insurance agent. And that means the person that you're going to purchase your policy from, or that you have your current policy with. Notary Stars, any other training course out there in America cannot guide you on insurance purposes, because they're not a licensed insurance agent. And it's really shaky ground to suggest someone to buy insurance. And then if that insurance fails you at some point, you could come back and sue that person. So we stay very clear of it here at Notary Stars, but we wanted to get this message out. And Ms. Beth, yesterday during our live mentorship, you had brought up something that was really important, that when you're speaking to an insurance representative, that notaries should probably ask. And could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, we were talking about what questions to ask to make sure that you have the coverage that you're looking for. And when we're talking about coverage for notarial errors, strictly your E&O policy, two things that are critical questions to ask is, how are the claims covered? How are they paid? And they will have a policy that either lists it as a claims made basis or an occurrence basis. So those two differences can make or break you. The claims made basis means that they have to make the claim while the policy is in force. So 5 years later, you're no longer a notary, and someone files a lawsuit against you, it's too late. Your policy's out of force, even though you were covered at the time of the occurrence. That's a claims made basis. Or an occurrence made basis is you had policy in force, you had coverage during the period of time that the claim is being made. Regardless of whether it's in force now, they'll still cover it. So those are two important factors when you're deciding what insurance carrier or what policy to choose.
All right, Ms. Beth, I really appreciate that. And I said this during training yesterday, and I want to make sure that this gets out on our burning questions. As a signing agency, which, you know, I own Notary Stars, but I also own a signing agency, I carry $1 million policy, which blankets over the notaries' policies that we request them to have. We also carry general liability insurance, which covers anybody that works at the company. And then that's not our contractors. We have $1 million cybercrime coverage. I did make a suggestion yesterday. You may not need $1 million, but if you are a RON notary or looking to become only a RON notary, you probably will need errors and omissions insurance, but you may need to check with the signing platforms that you're working with to see if they're covering you for any cyber crime, and may want to get invested into having a cyber crime coverage policy. So those are the policies that I personally cover. We have also a small bond, it's a large bond that goes along for the company as well. But those are what I carry as a, really large company. For a general notary, for a loan signing agent, I don't think that you need general liability insurance. I did make the statement that, you are using your car, you're going to people's homes, if you could run over someone's mailbox. If you're looking for additional coverage that can cover your loan documents, general liability is going to cover slip and fall if you break something in someone's house, or if they say you stain their carpet for any reason. But general liability, you need to ask when you purchase that policy, will you cover me for what my errors and omissions insurance will not cover me for? And again, ask those questions that Ms. Beth brought up. General liability is much different than errors and omissions, but because of the buzz, we felt that this was a really important burning question to put out because it's becoming more and more popular. Other training courses have notified me that they're hearing this question, and we've all kind of derived that it is insurance agents kind of working their way into our industry. And keep in mind, our industry has tripled in the last 2 years. So there's a lot more people for them to go after, a lot less educated people for them to go after. So it's really important for us to band together at this moment to kind of understand this question. Again, when I was just a notary out in the field, the only thing that I had was errors and omissions insurance, my car insurance, and my bond. Now as a company, I have more insurance coverage because I have to appease corporate level to get many offices from one client. But as an independent contractor, make your decisions based on talking with a licensed insurance representative. And sometimes your errors and omissions insurance is going to be carried differently than a general liability company. But do your research and don't let people make a bum rush to go get insurances that you may or may not need. Ask questions about these insurances, ask what they're covering, get the comfortability level that you need. And, when my conversation with Laura Bewer yesterday, she and I both said, and I said this at the beginning, this means this is ever the more reason to have good training because people are getting nervous about having insurances. You really want to invest in training if you feel that you're not covered even by these large amount policies, and get your confidence level up. Training doesn't mean that you're not good at your job. Training also can mean that you get better at your job. So don't let the buzz of getting someone trying to get into that little sector scare you into spending more money than you should. So that's the answer to your burning question about errors and omissions insurance. And I hope that you guys enjoy it. And we look forward to seeing you this year. I want to make a plug for Notary Stars Unlimited. Just visit notarystars.com. It's a little tab up at the top. It's a free event for all notaries across the country. We'll be meeting once a month with brilliant topics, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Hi, guys.